Look at these two men for a second. One of them is wearing a watch worth more than most cars. New phone, new bag, new everything. The other one is wearing a coat that has clearly survived a few winters. From the outside, the answer is obvious. One of them is rich. But only one of them could stop working tomorrow and not feel it for a year, and it is not the one you are looking at. The flashy man has things people notice. The quiet man has something people cannot photograph. No debt. 12 months of expenses saved. A life with so much margin that nothing in this room could shake it. One of them owns objects. The other one owns options. And once you understand the difference, you start to wonder if half the people you envy are actually free or just very good at performing. Most people are taught to make money visible, prove you made it, upgrade in public, turn every paycheck into a signal somebody else has to receive. But there is another kind of wealth. It grows in private. Nobody applauds it, and it gets stronger every time you choose not to perform it. Quiet wealth is built in the decisions nobody sees. That is the lens this channel is built around. The hidden systems behind money, status, brands, and modern behavior. There is something strange about performance money. It only works if somebody is watching. The car keys on the marble counter need a photo. The bag has to be the right bag in the right room. The watch has to be seen by someone who knows what it costs, or it might as well be invisible. And here is the trap nobody talks about. The moment the audience disappears, the purchase loses most of its reward. That is why performance never finishes. Every step forward raises the floor of what feels normal. You upgrade the car, the apartment looks small. You upgrade the apartment, the clothes feel old. You upgrade the clothes, the watch is wrong. The treadmill only stops if you stop running. And almost nobody stops. The second kind of money does not want to be seen at all. It is not pointed at the audience. It is pointed at the future. It buys margin. It buys time. It buys the ability to say no to a job, to a client, to a city, to a relationship that is quietly draining you. Protection money is patient. It does not need a reaction. And while performance money has to keep climbing to feel like anything, protection money grows even when nothing visible happens. Back in the coffee shop, the quiet man is still writing. Small numbers, a line for each one. He is not budgeting. He is admitting. When you tap a card, the money is abstract. When you write the number by hand, the purchase becomes real twice. Once when you paid. Once when you have to look at it on the page. Most people are not bad with money. They are just asleep with it. Elias watches the pen move and realizes he could not name what he spent last week if someone asked him. The flashy man's table tells a different story. A plate half eaten, slid to the side. A coffee abandoned for a newer one. A shopping bag with the tag still on. None of it feels expensive in the moment. None of it feels like a financial mistake. But most people do not lose wealth in one disaster. They leak it through invisible repetition. Food that becomes trash. Clothes that become storage. Phones replaced 6 months too early. Appliances that just needed a new part. There is an old Japanese word for the quiet discomfort of throwing away something still useful. The word does not really matter. The feeling does. Most modern lives have lost it. The flashy man's table tells a different story. A plate half eaten, slid to the side. A coffee abandoned for a newer one. a shopping bag with the tag still on. None of it feels expensive in the moment. None of it feels like a financial mistake. But most people do not lose wealth in one disaster. They leak it through invisible repetition. Food that becomes trash. Clothes that become storage. Phones replaced 6 months too early. Appliances that just needed a new part. There is an old Japanese word for the quiet discomfort of throwing away something still useful. The word does not really matter. The feeling does. Most modern lives have lost it. Most people want financial change to feel like a transformation, a new system, a new identity, a version of themselves that posts about waking up at 5. Quiet wealth is built by changes too small to brag about. 1% more saved this month. 1 subscription cancelled. 1 impulse delayed by 24 hours. 1 repair instead of 1 replacement. 1 Sunday spent reviewing where the month actually went. These habits work for the same reason most people skip them. They are too small for the ego to resist, and too small for the ego to turn into a story. Across the street, a shop window is glowing with something new, brighter than anything in your apartment, sharper than anything you own. It is designed to make whatever you already have feel slightly broken. Elias notices that pull. He feels it for a second. Then he looks back at the repaired bowl on the shelf inside the café. The cracks filled with gold, the history visible, the object more valuable for having been broken. Marketing only works on people who already feel slightly poor inside a life that still works. Quiet wealth begins the moment you can look at something old, scratched, or imperfect, and still see it as enough. Most people try to save what is left at the end of the month. There is almost never anything left at the end of the month. Quiet wealth flips the order. A portion of every paycheck disappears before the spending begins, into another account, into an investment, into something quietly locked away from the version of you that is tired on a Friday night and wants to feel good now. You are not punishing yourself. You are protecting yourself from the part of you that always negotiates. The present always wants to win. Quiet wealth is the discipline of letting the future win first. Here is the question almost no one stops to answer. What is your money actually for? Because if you do not know, every advertisement is happy to give you a reason. Every influencer's lifestyle becomes your target. Every co-worker's upgrade becomes your next purchase. Without a direction, money does not build a life. It just performs other people's lives. So once a month, sit down. No app, no system. Just one question on a clean page. Did my money this month move me toward the life I actually want? Or did it just help me perform a version of myself I was sold? Most people never ask. That is why their money never feels like theirs. If this is the kind of lens you want to keep, the Elias principle is here. Not to make the world louder, to help you see what was already there. Quiet wealth is not about looking small. It is not about being cheap. It is not about pretending you have less than you have. It is about refusing to let every dollar in your life become a signal to someone else. It is the discipline of keeping something back, of building something nobody can see, of protecting a future version of yourself that the present version will never meet, but owes everything to. The world will reward you for spending. The algorithm will reward you for displaying. Your real life will reward you for restraint. And those 3 things almost never agree. The flashy man stands up first. He is already on his phone. He is late for the next place he has to be seen at. He pays without looking and walks out fast, the door swinging behind him. The quiet man takes his time. He finishes his coffee. He closes the notebook. He puts on the old coat. He has nowhere he urgently needs to prove himself. He walks out slowly into a life nobody is watching. Elias watches them leave through different doors. He does not have to ask himself which one is richer anymore. The world notices spending. It rarely notices restraint. Quiet wealth is built where nobody is watching. Real wealth does not need an audience.